I've always loved sitcoms, definitely one of my favourite TV genres, if not my favourite TV genre ever. Whether they were like kids TV show sitcoms like the Basil Brush show here in the UK, all the way up to, you know, the more adult sitcoms. I say adult, but I'm thinking, you know, Friends, How I Met Your Mother, Scrubs, those kind of shows. And with that being said, I wanted to share with you my top 5 favourite sitcom characters. Now, tiny spoiler alert about this list, they are all male. And I think that might be because, being male myself, I identify with the male characters more and I see more of myself in them than the female characters. I don't really know, but this is how it's turned out. So without further ado, let's get straight onto the list. And starting off the list, my number 5 pick, it's Darius Epps from Atlanta. To kick things off, this character has one of the, if not the greatest character introduction I've ever seen in a sitcom. Darius as a character steals every scene he's in, which is saying a lot because he's often not the main character of the scene. Whether he's stacking salt and pepper shakers in the bar or coming out with the most ridiculous, hilarious things to say at any given moment, he is a gift to this show. Excellently portrayed by Lakeith Stanfield, this character for me has been the most unforgettable part of a pretty unforgettable show. Plus that Teddy Perkins episode, just wow. If you haven't seen Atlanta, I can recommend it. Moving on to my number 4 pick, and it's everyone's favourite spiky-haired, yellow, animated kid. It's Bart Simpson. Yes, I'm counting The Simpsons as a sitcom, even though it's animated. I think it fits the genre of sitcom, and also it's my list, so I can do whatever the hell I want. Sorry. This pick for me is a nod to my childhood. I watched a lot of Simpsons growing up, whether it was on VHS or DVD or Channel 4 at 6 o'clock on the weekdays. I watched a lot of Simpsons. And now it's on Disney Plus, I'm starting again and watching the whole thing from season 1 all the way into season 30. You know, I haven't seen much of maybe past season 16, 17, so I'm really excited to just power on through. It's gonna take me years, but I don't care. I'm enjoying rewatching it all so much. To a young, impressionable boy, which I was 10, 15 years ago, Bart Simpson was this sort of hero figure. He does what he feels like. He plays tricks on people and skateboards, and he's a proud underachiever. For him, life is just about having fun, and school sucks, and he's just almost like a impression of what every young boy wishes they could be if society didn't matter. But at the same time, he has his heartfelt moments. When he fails, you empathize with him. He loves his dog and he stands up for his sister. He also antagonizes his dad in the most hilarious ways, and he pretends to like a golf video game just so his mum wouldn't feel bad about buying the wrong game. And yes, growing up, he probably taught me more about what not to do than what to do, but the little Hellraiser kept me laughing through my childhood and to this day. Moving on to my number 3 pick, Phil Dunphy from Modern Family. The legendary father figure of the Dunphy family, Phil is just pure comedy gold. I think I identify more with Phil than any other character on this list, just because I think that he is how I would be as a dad. His goofy, silly, childlike optimism is infectious, and it always brings a smile to my face. But his silliness and ridiculousness is perfectly balanced by his efforts to be a great father, husband, and son-in-law. Perfectly portrayed by Ty Burrell, whose comedic abilities, especially his physical comedy, are world class and always laugh out loud funny. Phil is a dreamer, and he believes in himself and is always looking for the best in others, and I think we could all do with being a bit more like Phil Dunphy. Moving on to my number 2 pick, it's Chandler Bing from Friends. If any of my friends are watching this video, I think they'd assumed that Chandler would be my number 1 spot, but sadly he's got to settle for number 2. I've watched Friends more than I've watched any other TV show. I've seen the episodes a countless number of times and I love it, and I think a lot of people out there are the same. Chandler may be the sitcom character that I aspire to be the most like, even though I probably am more like Phil Dunphy. I'd like to think I see a lot of myself in Chandler, whether it's his self-deprecating sense of humor or his less than typical masculine demeanor. And there's no way to get around the fact that he is funny, hilariously funny, and I have to credit the writers for writing the character, but at the same time, it really was the role that Matthew Perry was born to play. Chandler Bing is the character that always has something funny to say in any given situation, and Matthew Perry hits the delivery out of the park every single time. The character is a TV icon, and rightfully so. But he's not just a one-dimensional funny character. He is flawed and he has issues and struggles that you really do empathize with. And seeing his journey throughout the seasons, from sort of struggling to commit to a relationship to then finding love with Monica, is amazing. It's heartwarming, it's joyous, it's wonderful, and the writers did it so smoothly and naturally that it doesn't feel forced that they put those two together. It just worked. And here we are, we've made it to my #1 favorite sitcom character of all time. And to be honest, I don't see this changing anytime soon. Ladies and gentlemen, in the #1 spot, it's Abid Nadir from Community. I think Community is one of the best TV shows, let alone sitcoms, of all time, and Abid is definitely the best character from the show, in my opinion. And I think the show's brilliance owes a lot to this character. Much of Community's satire and self-referential humor comes through the character of Abid. When the show is parodying mafia movies or mockumentaries, it's through Abid's perspective that the show is able to parody. And I also love that Abid is able to become the character that the episode requires of him, whether it be mafia boss or documentary filmmaker or anything in between. But at the same time, his innocence and harmlessness is endearing and heartwarming. Watching him grapple with understanding social norms and comprehending his own feelings in his own unique ways is inspirational and incredibly emotive. What other character in any other sitcom could work through a traumatic Christmas by creating this imaginative claymation episode and storyline? His friendship with Troy might be my favorite on-screen friendship in TV or film, and how that comes to a close still brings tears to my eyes. Also, he's a hilarious character, and I have to credit Danny Pudi for his impeccable portrayal of Abid. He does such a good job that, just like with Matthew Perry, you really couldn't imagine anyone else taking on that character. And for a character that is frequently insulted for being too weird or robotic or not human, he has so many wonderful moments that suggests maybe he's the most sane, kind, loving human out of the lot. Well, those are my top 5 favorite sitcom characters. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear who your favorite characters are in the comment section down below, so feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to chat about this kind of stuff with anyone who would listen. Thanks again for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.